The forecast by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency that some states in the north would experience above normal rainfall in 2021 appears to be taking effect. 3 weeks after a major rainfall, residents of affected communities in Jalingo, Taraba State are yet to come to terms with the extent of damage brought by the heavy downpour.
Mayogoi remains quiet despite the gradual return of activities to the community adversely hit by flood. The waters might have gone down. Most residents displaced by the flood water are yet to return to their homes. The fear of a similar disaster recurring cannot be ruled out as the reason for this. Among those who chose to remain and embrace their fears is Mr. John Thomas, a pastor. Furniture and other household items in his apartment are still out of place.
We were called upon at the local government secretariat, and nothing was just done because all they gave us was gari and some noodles of rice. And since then they said NEMA was coming. NEMA came to the secretariat, National Stadium, and nothing. We were not even called. The whole of us, you see the house as how the compound is being vandalized because the flood overshadowed us here completely. And my vehicle, like you saw the other day, I was just left alone, my carpets, my boxes, everything. I'm just left with this cloth that I'm wearing now. And so no assistance, we have not even been called upon. I even petitioned, I sent a text message to His Excellency. I have not had any response up to this time I'm talking to you. In fact, if the state government would have assisted us with, like he gave us foodstuffs, mattress. You see my mattress, look at my mattress lying down outside there. It's even little money to help us regain most of this, like my television, my decoders, in fact, all my electronics, all gone. You see the fridge, they were picking all our things at the bridge here, and they were just going with it. And so, in fact, even my vehicle, they're asking me now to bring 450,000 to repair my vehicle. I don't even have a dime. We have never been asked to move from this place because these are old compound and water has never entered this compound like this. This is the first time we are experiencing, even the flood that happened some 3 years ago didn't enter this compound like this. This is the first time that the thing overshadowed this compound like this.
Although no life was lost, the downpour leaves houses, farms and other properties submerged, giving residents the arduous task of salvaging as much as they could for days.
We were sleeping, then suddenly we heard some of our neighbors were screaming that water has entered, so we came out and we saw water was going up. It was going up to the level that some of us were not able to come out with some of our things in the room. Our electronic machines, our credentials, most of it, the water has destroyed it, and our foodstuffs. Because the water was so much, we couldn't carry anything, and the fence behind our building has just fell down, it has collapsed.
This whole thing started since the early hours of the day. In fact, some people woke up and discovered that their houses were already submerged inside water. So many houses have been collapsed. Some people were rushed to the hospital because of the shock. Some were hypertensive. We have to rush them to the hospital. So sincerely, if there is one thing we are sincerely seeking with immediate is for the government to assist people of this area with food, what they will eat for the meantime, probably before NEMA comes in, before the federal government comes in, before any other person comes in. Because if there is anything, I'm telling you, a lot of families don't have what to eat now, and I don't know to how long.
The force of the flood also affects the Mayogoi Bridge, with cracks noticed in some sections of the structure. Flood resultant rain are common in Mayogoi and other low-lying settlements lying within the river basin in Jalingo, the Taraba state capital. but the latest is the second that happened within a space of 4 weeks from the previous one, and it's adjudged by residents as the most disastrous. Mayogoy is among several communities ravaged by such magnitude of flood believed to have overflowed the river bank. The residents think the flood could have been averted if there was a good drainage system.
This flood is not from the river because I'm here over 20 years in this house. That's why I'm telling you this. Because any water from the river side, he has never come to this side. Only the lack of drainage that they didn't arrange it, whereby to flow down to the river.
The chairman of Jalingo local government area, Nasiru Boboji, is one of the early callers to the affected area. In the course of assessing damages, he attends to questions bordering on insinuations that flood might have been caused by the release of Kiri Dam in Adamawa State and Labdo Dam in Cameroon.
This regard is not the issue of whether Adamawa State government or Taraba State government, but the government because it's a diplomatic issue. So I think it is the government at the national level that will engage the relevant authority at the neighboring state, neighboring countries that is so involved in this kind of activity. And whenever necessary, sometimes, dam, you have to give it also. You have to open way for the water to pass. Whenever they are going to do this, let us be communicated. I hope you understand, so that we also sensitize and also move away people that are living close to these areas. So this is just my appeal. So I think in this regard, there is need for the government, especially the national government, the federal government, to ensure that there is a proper collaboration and proactive measures to also predict and also engage the relevant authorities so that appropriate proactive measures will be taken to avert this kind of instances. So it is our responsibility as government at this level to engage all those that are in the riverbank area, and I think that is one of the assessment. We have made it actually in collaboration with SEMA sometimes, but sometimes people doesn't actually, some of them, whatever you do, they will not give the cooperation they deserve, but there are some who are actually responding positively, and we continue to push and sensitize the people so that at least this kind of loss of properties and millions of naira will also be avoided.
As a matter of concern, the governor of Taraba State, Darius Ishaku, also leads top government officials on a sympathy visit to the affected communities. With an on-the-spot assessment and briefing from the State Emergency Management Agency, Governor Ishaku identifies the immediate needs of the victims.
The first thing is to immediately send food supplies to all these people, because all of them, most of them, their houses have completely been damaged. And we need to support them with what to eat immediately. And then the second stage will be how they can reconstruct their houses, but not on the same area, because they are all lying on the low valley of the rivers. We had this issue 2005, and this looks like even a bit worse than that. So we have to discourage people by encroaching to the river valleys as much as possible. Definitely we have to resettle them. In fact, we have to move them. I can remember one of the particular building, which is like a factory. I refused to sign the CO4 some 3 months ago because I was querying the location. And today I saw it, that place was completely flooded. So we have to relocate a lot of the buildings away from the floodplains.
Besides Jalingo, communities in other parts of the state are also affected by the flood. According to the governor, resettling affected residents requires support to cross board.
Any help that is coming to Taraba State should go through the government of Taraba State. And we'll call on non-governmental organizations to help us, because most times they should come also through the government. We have established ways. We have the SEMA in the state. We have other organizations, humanitarian ministry exists in this state. So I see no reason why the counterpart in the federal cannot liaise with the humanitarian ministry in the state. We desire support.
It's been 3 weeks since the Taraba state government committed to helping those affected. The expected interventions remain a promise yet to be fulfilled.
I don't think there is any assistance from the government, because I was thinking they will make an effort, but I've not seen any effort that the government did, which I expected. That so many people here, tenants lost so many properties, so many valuable things has been lost here. So I didn't see anything, any support from the government. And which I believe, if government can come to the aid of the people for assistance, to assist them, or if there is any way that they can assist and help even the landlord or the landlady of the house, at least to make some repairs.
As you can see, these are my study Bibles. In fact, this is my library. This is my library, you see it. And all the books, everything there is gone. And in fact, just look at the whole compound. Even the tenants that I have here have all run away. The 4 tenants have all gone out. And I'm just left here alone. And you can come and see why I'm lying down on the bed ground. Look at all my chairs, everything outside. Everything outside. My clothes all gone. The ones I'm able to pick, look at how muddy the water came with too much of mud. So serious that we couldn't do otherwise.
While the victims continue to look out for relief, it's pertinent for them to understand that building on waterways and low-lying areas is a risky venture. It also behoves the state government to engage relevant agencies in educating the citizenry and put in place a strong regulation against such.